You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, a business in Reeds is thinking of families who may be struggling with food for the holidays. KOAM's Fernanda Silva shares with us how the idea got started.
Plus, a business in Pittsburgh is collecting socks for troops this holiday season.
And we've got another mild and breezy start out there for us. Rain on the way. We'll talk about that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. Just after 7 a.m. on this finally Friday in the 4 states, and we were talking about this. This has been one of the longest, slowest weeks
of our lives.
You went home ill on Monday, and I feel like it's been like 2 weeks ago since that happened.
Seriously, so much has happened.
It just has been one of those weeks. I woke up this morning, and I'll be honest with you, folks, I laid in bed, and if it wasn't for the fact that we're a little short-staffed, I was really tempted to just say, I don't feel good. I'm not coming in.
Caitlin, you got weather, right?
I mean, I was so exhausted this morning, but it is Friday, which means we're heading into the weekend.
That's right.
Got some rain this evening, might help you sleep, especially for folks like us who will be going to bed very early in the evening. And of course, the holidays are upon us. We're already now through the first full week of December.
I can't believe it, Chris. And yeah, the holidays are just a time to think about those in need. From money to gifts, someone somewhere is struggling.
A small business in Reeds, Missouri is offering prepaid meal tickets just for those in need. KOAM's Fernanda Silva shows us how the initiative works.
Tracy Artem saw an inspiring and creative Facebook post. Minutes later, she decided to take action and make it a reality in her own business. Now, customers at 666 One Stop are greeted with a sign that reads, "If you're hungry and have no money, these meals have been paid for in advance."
I'm not one of those people who are like, gosh, it'd be nice if this would happen. I'm like, well, let's make it happen. Let's do it.
Prepaid tickets hang from the sign for customers to choose from. Anyone can take a ticket and hand it to a cashier so they can offer the meal. But asking for help is not always easy.
A gentleman was kind of looking at our menu and he was looking at the prices and so one of my employees stepped in and she said, hey, we have this pay it forward meal now. She said, if you're hungry, she said, you can redeem one of these. And so he did.
Just feel people, have empathy. And I think we all kind of click with that and can tell. I mean, you can tell.
The initiative started during the holiday season, but the plan is to keep it going.
We will continue that until the end of time here.
We live in a rural community where they're pretty poor and, there's nothing around here. This gives them an opportunity to have something hot on their bellies.
A way to warm up bellies and also hearts.
The more that we can do, the better off we all are.
In Reeds, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Donors can choose the meal they want to offer. In almost 3 weeks of having the sign up, the business owners say they have received multiple donations.
And we've, I've seen things like this on social media in other areas. I've got to be honest, I think it's one of the first times, maybe not the first time, but one of the first times I've seen it here in our area. And this region is so great at giving back.
Absolutely.
And helping others.
I mean, I keep seeing it time and time again. So many great events and charities going on.
Yeah,
so
and I mean, our Toy
season.
Box campaign and our Feed the 4 States campaign, just two of, as you mentioned, a number of charitable organizations and operations during the holidays, and the 4 States always steps up to the plate. Absolutely. So I tell you what, I'm going to step up to the plate and tell you about the weather. Hey, we have got a very mild start. So this is where it gets kind of interesting. Our temperatures aren't really going to move much. So right now, we should be hitting our overnight lows about this point, we are about 30 degrees above normal. However, as we go into the afternoon, by the time we reach what is supposed to be our highs, we're only going to be about 10 to 12 degrees above normal because our temperatures aren't going to move much. This is our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Still got that gusty south wind pushing around 20, but the clouds have rolled in and we are socked in with them. You can see them from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline in Joplin as well. Again, for the time being, the roads are dry, but rain on the way in about the next 3 or 4 hours. 59 in Joplin. Joplin, 58 in Pittsburgh. These temperatures have not moved much, nor will they again. Showers move in by about 11. Isolated thunderstorms also possible, especially as we head into the evening. Not anticipating any severe weather at this point, but if that changes again, we'll let you know. Highs today moving up just a little, low to mid 60s out there. We're going to be much cooler tonight, much cooler this weekend. We'll talk about that full forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. A police chase in Pittsburgh prompted the school district to put all of its buildings on a soft lockdown. The Crawford County Sheriff says that the chase started outside of Pittsburgh. It involved an armed suspect who ended up running inside of a home on the 1200 block of East 8th Street, where he was later arrested. In response to the pursuit, Pittsburgh Community Schools put all of its buildings on a soft lockdown for less than 10 minutes. That means that operations inside the school continued as normal, but all students and staff were prohibited from leaving the buildings. And the high winds fanned a vehicle fire yesterday in Joplin. KOAM's Shannon Becker received this image of a fully involved pickup truck fire on 23rd and Wall. No injuries were reported, and remember, small fires can easily turn into big ones, so no outside burning. A semi-truck driver is dead from a crash in Montgomery County, Kansas. It happened on US 166 near the northern junction with US 75. 64-year-old Gerald Bolia of Newark, Oklahoma was eastbound when his semi failed to negotiate a curve and overturned. Webb City Police Wednesday night arrested a man who led officers on a chase. It started when officers spotted a man at a Casey's store wanted for outstanding felony warrants. The wanted man drove off in a van which went over the median on MacArthur just east of the roundabout before crashing into a culvert and then catching fire. The man then ran away but was quickly caught by police. He was treated for non-life-threatening injuries, and authorities say he will face additional charges from the chase. A shoe business in Pittsburgh is collecting socks to give to troops for Christmas. It's Shoe Sensation's 8th annual Socks for Troops fundraiser. All Shoe Sensation locations will collect socks and have socks available for customers to buy and donate at a discount. The socks collected from the Pittsburgh location will be donated to local Kansas National Guard Armory.
Those folks are our friends and our family. It's really important, the work that they do for us, and so it's our company's way of giving back just a little bit to them for everything that they do and sacrifice for us.
Last year's Socks for Troops fundraiser collected more than 50,000 pairs of socks. Up next, Congress is struggling on ways to provide aid to Ukraine and Israel. We'll hear more on how politicians plan to move forward. And later, astronomers spot an intergalactic first, a swirling cloudy disk around a massive young star galaxy outside of our galaxy. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Are you burned out with the same old desk job? And are you tired of working 5 days a week?
For O'Keeffe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream and guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 7:10 just about. And now is on this Friday morning. We've got cloudy skies, clouds socked into the area. 59 in Joplin, south breeze at 9. Still seeing some occasional gusts out there, and it'll still be gusty as we head into the afternoon. Dew point, humidity both up a little bit. I mentioned we get an update on what they issue as the day one outlook for strong or severe thunderstorms. That outlook has not changed. It has kept the low end severe risk outside of our area, so we're just looking at some general thunderstorms as we head into the evening hours. We'll talk about that all in just a moment. We have 53 Yates Center and Iola's, a couple of the cool spots out there. 61 in Miami, still the warmest spot. 58 Pittsburgh, Lamar. 57s in Fort Scott, Nevada, and Stockton, as well as Monette and Cassville and Parsons. And we're sitting at 60 in Chautauqua. By about 11 o'clock or so, we're going to start to see a few isolated to scattered showers building in across the area. By noon, a few more of those. And as we head into the evening, a few isolated thunderstorms will also be possible out there, but again, at this point, not anticipating any strong or severe storms with this activity. As we head later into the evening, that will all move on out by about 9-10 o'clock, and then our winds on the backside are going to start to shift out of the north. So initially, for those of you ahead of those north winds, we're still going to be fairly mild through the late evening, but once you get on the backside of this system, your temperatures are going to start to fall as we go toward tomorrow morning. So again, our best rain chances, mainly as we head into the evening, where we'll see a little little more organized activity out there. And of course, it tapers off as we head through the overnight. Getting our morning started, south breeze still occasionally gusting upwards of 20-25 miles an hour. Temperatures not moving much, just kind of hovering in the upper 50s through the morning hours. And we start to see a few showers by 11. Heading into the afternoon, temperatures, again, they don't move much. Low to mid 60s out there. Cloudy skies, isolated showers, scattered showers and thunderstorms. A few better thunderstorm chances as we head into the evening before all of this exits out. And this is what I'm saying. So for those that right after the rain ends, we're still going to be mild initially, but all of us falling back upper 30s, low 40s for our overnight lows tonight once the wind shifts out of the north. And it will remain gusty for a bit, still pushing about 20-25 miles an hour. For our Saturday, some good news. Even though it's going to be much cooler, we're going to hit that high of 49 by about noon. So we're not going to be falling through the entire day, thankfully. We will be falling as we head into the afternoon. It is a gradual drop back down into the upper 20s out there. We'll be cool on Sunday as well, mid 40s. We return to or just slightly above normal as we enter the next work week. Temperatures back into the low to mid 50s, and we'll see some additional isolated shower chances by Wednesday of next week. That's a quick look at your forecast. We're going to send it over to Caitlin now.
Thanks, Chris. 2023 will officially be the hottest year on record. That's according to an analysis from the European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service. It found that this year's global temperature will be nearly 35 degrees warmer than pre-industrial levels. Every month since June has been the hottest such month on record, leaving scientists worried about what this means for the planet in the coming years. Scientists have said 2023's exceptional warmth is the result of the combined effects of El Niño and human-caused climate change. A series of deadly heat waves and record-breaking temperatures hit several continents this year, while unprecedented ocean heat blanketed much of the globe. Kremlin declines public discussion on a proposed exchange of American prisoners. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov has declined public discussion on the recent U.S. proposal for the exchange of American prisoners, former Marine Paul Whelan and the Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller said Tuesday that Washington had presented a new and significant proposal to Moscow in recent weeks to secure the release of Whelan and Gershkovich, but Moscow reportedly rejected it. Despite the Biden administration's continuous efforts to bring home Whelan and Gershkovich, both of whom have been officially recognized as wrongfully detained by the State Department, there has been no success. And billions of dollars in U.S. aid to Israel and Ukraine is looking more uncertain than before. Senate Republicans last night blocked an emergency spending bill demanding tougher immigration measures at the southern border. As if often the case at the Capitol, time is running out as wars fought by American allies continue and the congressional calendar is coming to a close. Mike Valerio shows us how the issue is reverberating from Congress to the campaign trail.
As war rages in Ukraine, Gaza, and Israel, battle lines are drawn in Washington over sending aid to U.S. allies.
We can't let Putin win. It's in our overwhelming national interest and international interest of all our friends.
We're more exposed here at home in the short term than Putin winning in Ukraine.
The central sticking point, Republicans are demanding the security package for Israel and Ukraine also include immigration changes and tougher security measures for the U.S.-Mexico border.
Listen, there's lots of extraneous policy that I want passed as well. I support changes in our gun laws to make sure that we don't have any more mass shootings like we just saw at UNLV. But I'm not demanding that my list of proposals on guns be enacted into law in order to save Europe from Vladimir Putin.
On the GOP presidential primary debate stage, former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, argued the U.S. must continue to deliver aid to key allies as a matter of global security.
The one way that we keep China from going into Taiwan is, one, make sure that we win in Ukraine.
The question now, will an aid package make it out of Congress this year, with lawmakers currently set to adjourn next week? Republican Senator Shelley Moore Capito said Congress will find a way forward to pass the aid bill.
Definitely think it's important, but it's important to tie it with our national security, with border policy changes that this administration has acknowledged need to be done.
I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
And that's a look at our World Watch. Coming up, here's a bicycle to chase down a suspect. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right here in Carthage, USA, give Windows for Less a call today. If you want the best for less, call Windows for Less.
A Christmas Story movie is a holiday favorite, and now you'll have the chance to watch it on stage. Pittsburgh Community Theater will be performing the Christmas Story musical this weekend, and we have Tony Sanchez with us today, along with some actors that'll be in the play. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Okay, so let's just get started. A Christmas Story. It's a classic story, and now we get to see it live on stage. Tell us, what can we expect for the show?
Okay, so, it's the most popular Christmas movie in America, and it has been turned into a musical. So all of the story sets around Ralphie and his quest to try to get a BB gun for Christmas on Christmas morning from Santa Claus, and so all of the fantastic things that he thinks of in his imagination come to life in song on stage.
So fun. Yes. I bet. I can only imagine how good this is going to be. And what roles are you gentlemen playing?
So this is Reed Mishmash, and this is Emmy Hernandez.
Yes, I am Scott Farkas in the actual play.
So he's the big bully.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I get to push a lot of people around, bully them.
Which is totally out of character, I can tell. You're a good kid. And what about you?
I am Grover Dale, the bully's toady.
That's right. So you're the sidekick, right?
Yeah, he's the sidekick.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I love that. So what are you most looking forward to for this play?
I'm looking forward to just like the actual play itself, like having an audience and just performing with the mic and everything. It's fun.
I love that.
This is my first time doing one, so I was really excited, and I'm really excited for the musical tonight. And
absolutely, that sounds like a fun time. And how many people are in the cast?
So we have almost 40 people in the cast and 30 kids.
Wow!
So, yeah.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us, where can we get tickets?
You can get tickets at memorialauditorium.org, and our performance dates are tonight, so December 8th at 7:30 tonight, and then tomorrow we have two shows. We have a matinee at 2 o'clock, and then an evening show at 7:30, and then Sunday the 10th we have a 2 o'clock matinee. So nobody has to miss a Christmas party. Come see the show.
Absolutely. It's all happening this weekend. If you want to get in the holiday spirit, it sounds like it is fun for all ages to attend, right?
Yes.
Yep. All right. It's going to be a great show. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. You guys are going to break a leg, I'm sure, out there.
We are too. Opening night. We're ready for an audience.
Woo! All right.
We're really excited.
Yep. Oh, good. Well, make sure you check out A Christmas Story happening this weekend, and tune in because we have more news coming up right after this.
Feels good to be home. Ashley's year-end Ash Bash is buy one, get one free deals store-wide. Buy this recliner, get a second free. Buy this dining set, get 2 bar stools free. Plus, get a free gift with qualifying purchases. Only at Ashley.
Well, a cop borrows a bicycle to take down a fleeing suspect, and an intergalactic first is spotted in deep space.
Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Let me borrow your bike. Watch a quick-thinking cop in the UK commandeer a bicycle to chase down a suspected drug dealer. The Northamptonshire officer arrived after a call about a suspected drug deal going down. The suspect fled on a bike through a park where the cop's car couldn't go, so like something out of a movie, he commandeered a bicycle from a passerby and gave chase across the grass and into the street, where he intercepted the suspect, crashing into him and taking him down. Police say the man was carrying cash and illegal drugs and was arrested. The cop later returned the borrowed bike and thanked the owner. Wouldn't have caught him without your help. Thanks. Really appreciate that. All right. A cop with no wheels had to use fancy footwork instead to corral and capture a stubborn escaped pig in New Jersey. The hog wasn't having it, but the officer did eventually make the collar, literally. By the way, the pig's name was Albert Einswine. Ha! You see, it is funny because he is a swine. Okay. From the mean streets of Jersey all the way to the edge of a neighboring galaxy. How's that for a left turn? Astronomers say a high-powered telescope has spotted an intergalactic first. This is system HH1177, a swirling cloudy disk around a massive young star. It's the first discovery of its kind outside our own galaxy, where experts say similar rotating disk events have been known to form stars and even new planets. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Interesting.
All incredible stories.
I love the first story, man. It reminded me of Castaway, where and how Tom Hanks' story evolved from first he beat up the kid and took his bike, and then the kid became crippled and he beat him up and took his bike to deliver the FedEx packages on time. But thankfully, that officer did not beat up the man on the bicycle.
He took him out though. He really
did take out the suspect, man. I remember doing that though. When you were younger, riding your bike as fast as you could and then jumping off of it and just watching it go. We were crazier in our youth.
I guess so, Christopher.
I'm lucky if I can ride a bicycle anymore these days.
Well, coming up, Frank Fletcher presents a sizable donation to the Ronald McDonald House yesterday. And you're watching the KOAM Fox 14 News.
And we've got ourselves a cloudy, breezy start to the day, mild as well. However, rain is on the way. We'll talk about that, and that forecast gets you out the door when we come back.
Next to Justin Booth.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:30 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly announces nearly $2 million to support Kansas children exposed to drugs. The funds will go to 18 Kansas service agencies in the first round of grants for All Hands on Deck or Drug Endangered Children of Kansas. Thrive Allen County Isla will receive more than $111,000, and the Wilson County Health Department in Fredonia will receive $130,000. The grants are intended to help these organizations identify and support children living in an environment where caregivers make or distribute drugs. Our four-legged friends will also get some gifts. Landmark National Bank in Pittsburgh is helping to collect items for Operation Santa Paws, a month-long charity drive to benefit the SEK Humane Society. Some needed items are dog toys, cat food, dog food, and cleaning supplies like Lysol wipes and paper towels. Donations can be dropped off at the bank at 2300 North Broadway.
Personally, it makes me feel great. I've been involved in animal rescue a lot of my adult life, and I've personally adopted animals from rescues and animal shelters and have actually rescued some animals, so it just makes me feel great.
Operation Santa Paws runs through December 21st. Hundreds of people in Joplin yesterday walked away with a box full of free food. The Alliance of Southwest Missouri handed out 800 boxes of meat and produce to families in need. It was on a first-come, first-served basis at the parking lot of the South Joplin Christian Church.
Food is locally sourced from farmers, so it is all grown or produced in Missouri. And we have an opportunity to purchase food from those farmers and then distribute it for free. So there'll be more events like this, and there'll be more events like this not only in Joplin, but in a lot of the surrounding counties as well.
People were able to walk up and get a box or go through a drive-through. Frank Fletcher, Subaru in Joplin, yesterday shared the love with the Ronald McDonald House. Employees of Frank Fletcher presented a donation of more than $8,000 to Ronald McDonald House charities of the 4 states. 100% of the donations go directly to support Ronald McDonald House.
I'm really happy, honestly. As a mother myself, I've never been in this predicament myself, but the fact that we have such a strong community coming together to help each other out makes me feel really proud and happy.
This is the 10th year Ronald McDonald House Charities of the 4 states has partnered with Subaru for the Share the Love event. Area Christmas tree farms are feeling the sting after last summer's dry weather. Andy Johnson of Bridgestone Tree Farm says he's already seen an impact on his trees after 2 dry seasons in a row. He says customers are going to see an impact if this upcoming season is just as dry as the previous seasons.
We lost probably 75–80% of what we did plant, and so we just replant the next year and hope for the best. But that's 2 years in a row. If we don't get better conditions this next year, we probably will see a shortage in Christmas trees in 6 years.
Next year, Johnson is rebranding Bridgestone Christmas Tree Farm as the Johnson Family Farm.
And we've got ourselves a mild and breezy and cloudy start to our finally Friday here in the 4 states. This is our camera on the Cordell Complex, downtown Joplin. Cloudy skies, winds out of the south, still occasionally gusting upwards of 20-25 miles an hour, and that'll be the trend for us throughout the entire day. Cloudy skies, MoDOT camera, 20th and range line. However, for the time being, the roads are still dry, but here in the next about 3 hours or so, we're going to start to see rain chances rolling in. 59 in Joplin, 58 in Pittsburgh. No real changes in the temperatures, and they won't do a lot of warming today. We'll be into the low to mid 60s out there by about 11 o'clock. A few isolated showers. We'll see a few more showers, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms as we head into the evening, but the good news is no severe weather expected as we head into the evening. We do remain breezy, and then temperatures are going to drop heading into the weekend. We'll have another full look at your forecast here in just a few more minutes. Kayla.
All right, well, that's a look at your top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A family finds a surprise guest in their Christmas tree. That story and more coming up.
When it comes to working with my clients, I'm not just their lawyer. Download our contact information and then save to your contacts in your phone. Aaron Sachs and Associates. We're here for you 24/7.
Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Good morning, Shannon.
Good morning. The Western look here.
Thank you.
How's your horse? You ride that horse today?
He's parked outside.
Oh, parked outside.
Yeah, I rode him to the station.
All right, whatever that's whatever. Let's take a look at the big 3 this week. Number 3, it's the Kilties in Carthage. They are actually the largest bugle drum corps, Scottish bugle drum corps, all women in America. They've been around like almost 100 years.
Too cool.
I've never even heard of them. They're from Central High School in Springfield, and they picked Carthage this year as one of their places to play for the Christmas parade. They were amazing.
I can see it right now. This is some impressive stuff right there.
The sound is mind-blowing. They did such a cool job. And what a great tradition. They're, in fact, raising money for their new uniforms and their traditional Scottish uniforms. So they're quite expensive, but it's a couple of year-long campaign that they're working on. We put the details on our website and our news tab, KOAM News Now. Our number 2 story, a man wanted on felony warrants was spotted at Casey's by Webb City Police Department, and it was a short pursuit of a van just outside of town, and he jumped the median and thought he'd go the other direction, but he ended up in the ditch. That van crashed and then caught fire.
Oh, no.
He was injured, but he still fled on foot for a while to get caught in some barbed wire, and police took him into custody. Yeah, he'll be facing more charges, we're told, by the Webb City Police Department as that all sorts out. And our number 1 story, I hope you're feeling like the holiday spirit.
Yes.
Everybody did in downtown Joplin. You were in the Christmas parade, rocking around the Christmas tree.
Yes.
Did you have a good time?
It was
Obviously?
amazing. The turnout was incredible.
It was big. It was big. You got bands, you had floats, you had a lot of big trucks and all that. Look at that. Even some fancy footwork.
Do-si-do.
Now, those were actually fire extinguishers from Marmac Fire and Safety, but it looked very festive, didn't it?
I love it.
So you can see the entire parade on our website. On the right is Caitlin, on the left is Chris Warner. So
in a wig.
Yeah. Well, you know, we gotta protect your identity. What kind of hair has he got? You know what we're talking about. And then, of course, Santa was there at the end.
Big guy.
So talking about Santa, we started out earlier in the day as Santa flew into the Joplin Regional Airport. It was that Santa. It's so cool. Wow. They're recreating a 1941 event as Santa flew into the Joplin Regional Airport and saw the kids.
That is too cool.
It was a huge crowd. A lot of little ones and a lot of homeschoolers. That's the picture from 1941. Is that cool?
Incredible. Oh, and we're keeping that tradition going.
That beard, though, on him, super scary. Hey, look, he waved at me. He spotted me.
Well,
and he was like,
I always wave at you every time I see you.
He's like, restraining order. No, just kidding. So everybody lined up. Everybody got the chance to sit on Santa's lap. It was a great event. Freedom of Flight Museum did that, and also City of Joplin. Fly Home Aviation of Miami, Oklahoma brought him to Joplin. You can read all about it, see more video, pictures on our website. It's our Big 3 KOAM News Now.
Absolutely. Man, you were in the Christmas spirit.
I got to be.
And you're just getting started,
I
right?
got to be. Can I borrow your horse?
Anytime. Yeah, let's go ring them up and hand out presents.
Ring them up? Is
Yeah,
what you said?
round them up.
Round them up.
Oh,
You got to work on your country lingos.
Thank you,
All right.
Shannon. All right, more news coming your way after this.
Time to turn your house into a Westco home for the holidays. Drop in for a sleigh full of seating.
More is better. Buffalo Run Casino and Resort.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 7:42. We've had a lot of fun on this Friday morning. I hope your Friday is off to the same fantastic start we've had here. It all started when Caitlin rode in on her horse from Nashville. And it just has taken off from there. What a great day. We've got 58 in Joplin. Right? Is your horse really doing all right? Okay, I've just been because of her shirt. Now, I told her, in all honesty, I like her shirt, but this is how it works. You know, you've got to be able to get along like this in the morning. Otherwise, we're not going to make it.
That's right, Chris.
Well, let's make it through this forecast so we can get to Consumer Watch. Cloudy skies out there, south breeze at 15, still gusting occasionally upwards of 20, 25. Miami sitting at the warm spot still 61, but we got 60, Chatopa, Veneta, Grove, and Jay 58. Pittsburgh, Parsons, Chanute, Neodesha, Independence. A little cooler, Yates Center and Iola 53 and 54, and 57 in Fort Scott and Lamar. So here we go. By late morning, we start to see a few of those isolated to scattered showers, and we'll get a few more of them, mainly into southeast Kansas and southwest Missouri, and really concentrated along the Kansas-Missouri border. And as we go into the evening, a few thunderstorms will be possible, but the good news is at this point, not anticipating any severe weather, and by about 9 o'clock, that exits out of here. Now, ahead of it, right behind the rain, still warm, still mild, but behind that, where the wind is shifting out of the north, temperatures do begin to fall, so we're going to go into the upper 30s and low 40s tonight. Of course, rain chances best as we head into the evening, mid to late evening hours before all of this clears on out of here. Breezy through the morning, cloudy, temperatures just hovering in the upper 50s. Showers start to move in, few scattered thunderstorms late in the afternoon. Temperatures don't move much. We'll go into the low to mid 60s out there. As we head into the evening, again, isolated, scattered thunderstorm showers. They clear out. Temperatures behind all this fall back into the low 40s and again upper 30s. The wind shifting out of the north, still staying breezy and gusting upwards of 20-25 miles an hour. And then we'll go for a mostly cloudy day on our Saturday, upper 40s, mid 40s on Sunday. And then we do return to normal or even just slightly above as we kick off the next work week. We do have an isolated chance for a shower or two by Wednesday of next week. That is a quick check of your forecast. Now we're going to ride on over to Caitlin for Consumer Watch.
Yes, Chris.
Take us to that
Giddy
rodeo.
up, Chris. All right, in Consumer Watch this morning, a retail group is pulling back its previous claims on organized retail crime. The National Retail Federation released a revised version of its report from April that claimed nearly half of $94.51 billion in inventory losses reported by retailers was a result of retail crime. The revision comes after news site Retail Dive found data errors in the original report. The National Retail Federation teamed up with financial crimes risk management firm K2 to release the report. The NRF says K2 made the error, and the exact cost from organized retail crime is still unclear. Amazon shoppers who use Venmo to make their purchases will soon have to choose a different payment type. Amazon says starting January 10th, customers will not be able to pay for items using Venmo, but the company says it will still accept Venmo debit and credit cards. Venmo was acquired by PayPal in 2013. PayPal says both companies agreed to disable the payment option. And the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, or CPSC, is issuing warnings about magnetic balls in a toy set. The agency announced on Thursday that e-commerce company Express Goods is recalling its colorful magnetic balls. The agency says the set doesn't meet safety regulations. There have been no injuries or deaths linked to the recall, but the agency is sending out several warnings after it became aware of 7 deaths involving swallowing small magnets. The agency recommends that consumers take the recall toy set away from their children and contact Express Goods for a full refund. That's a look at our Consumer Watch this morning. We'll be right back with more after this. But first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
To reach out to that local food pantry and man, just be generous during this time of year where we celebrate grace.
There's no place like home for the holidays, but what happens when your home is moved inside another home?
A Lexington family recently found an unwanted Yuletide guest nestled in its Christmas tree. Now I get it.
We were wondering where we were going with this.
Okay, Fox's Krista.
Go ahead, say it, Chris.
Spadaccini, I believe, takes us to see who was found.
A decades-long tradition takes a turn.
Every year. Love it. We pick it out as a family.
When Santa showed up early to the White's house, but with the present the Lexington family did not expect.
I was shocked. I was so stunned.
Rocking around their Christmas tree was an owl, the baby bird blending in with the branches, going undetected for 4 days.
I have 3 dogs. We use this room nonstop, watch TV, kitchen's right here. No indication.
The first person to spot the feathered fellow was Bobby Hayes while the Whites weren't home.
The owl was literally sitting on a lower limb here.
Hayes owns Magic Carpet Cleaning. After plugging in a piece of equipment, he noticed the tree sway and the owl on the prowl.
It crawled up into the tree further, and as it was in the tree further, it took me several minutes to even find it.
Grabbing the bird in the nick of time, he sent this photo to Michelle.
Thought he'd put a stuffed animal or an ornament in. So I called him immediately. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? And he was like, no.
Michelle now telling Chris Kringle to put Hayes on the nice list, because if she instead found the owl, she'd be hooting and hollering into the new year.
I would have left the house. The owl could have stayed without me. I wasn't coming home.
Without injuring the baby bird, Hayes made the wise choice to release the owl in the family's backyard. Sure, it was pining for a wooded place once again.
Everybody's going to be able to have a Merry Christmas now.
That's incredible.
That is. How do you not first off, how's the owl not realize the tree is moving?
He's just happy to be part of the Christmas spirit.
That's pretty darn neat, though, to find an owl in your Christmas tree. Usually it's your cat climbing up the tree, tearing it up. But an owl, on the other hand, the owl has more respect for the tree than the cat does.
Absolutely.
Well, we've got ourselves a pretty breezy day again, so it might blow out any owls that could be in your potential future Christmas tree. We've got south winds still gusting upwards of 20, and that'll continue today. And as you can see, we've also got just those cloudy skies socked into the area so as we start the morning. And it's fairly mild out there as well. Dry roadways again for the time being, but here shortly, in the next, it's coming up on 8, so about 2.5, 3 hours, it'll start to rain for some of us. Cloudy skies, MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. 58 Joplin, 58 in Pittsburgh right now, and those temperatures haven't really moved much, nor will they, as they only climb in the low to mid 60s out there. Shower storms start building in. Showers initially by about 11, and then later this evening we've got an opportunity for a few scattered thunderstorms. And the good news is at this point still not anticipating any strong or severe thunderstorms. I know that low wind risk kept bouncing back and forth, but the last couple of updates this morning has kept it off to our south and east across parts of central Arkansas. So for us, just some much needed rain. We'll have another look at your forecast, including the rest of the weekend and the news you need to know right after this.
I think they like each other.
The Wyandotte, Oklahoma native was deployed to both Iraq and Afghanistan and earned the Army Achievement and Good Conduct Medals. We are proud to salute Ricky Gideon, a 4-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A semi-truck driver is dead from a crash in Montgomery County, Kansas. It happened on US 166 near the northern junction with US 75. 64-year-old Gerald Bolia of Newkirk, Oklahoma, was eastbound when his semi failed to negotiate a curve and overturned. A police chase in Pittsburgh prompted the school district to put all of its buildings on a soft lockdown. The Crawford County Sheriff says the chase started outside of Pittsburgh. It involved an armed suspect who ended up running inside a home on the 1200 block of East 8th Street, where he was later arrested. In response to the pursuit, Pittsburgh Community Schools put all of its building on a soft lockdown for less than 10 minutes. That means that operations inside the school continued as normal, but all students and staff were prohibited from leaving the buildings. And the high winds fanned a vehicle fire yesterday in Joplin. KOAM's Shannon Becker received this image of a fully involved pickup truck fire on 23rd and Wall. No injuries were reported. And remember that small fires can easily turn into big ones, so no outside burning.
And we've got ourselves another breezy day out there. South winds gusting upwards of 20-25. Highs topping out low to mid 60s. Scattered showers and even a couple of thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. No severe weather expected at this point. Those move out by about 9 o'clock this evening. Temperatures mild initially. Winds shift out of the north on the backside of this system, dropping our lows back to the low 40s. And those north winds will still be gusty as well, upwards of 20 miles an hour. We're going to be upper 40s tomorrow, mid 40s Sunday, so pretty chilly weekend for us. And we'll return to normal or just slightly above to start the next work week with an isolated shower or two possible by Wednesday.
And an old Christmas classic is taking over the charts.
Brenda Lee's Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree is #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 songs for the first time.
In 1958, Holiday Anthem is seeing a resurgence with nearly 35 million streams and 21 million radio plays so far this year. Lee was just 13 years old when she recorded Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
No.
Yes.
I did not know that. Well, ahead of the song's 65th anniversary, she dropped an official music video featuring country singers Tanya Tucker and Trisha Yearwood. And don't worry, the Queen of Christmas, Mariah Carey, is still dominating the charts. All I Want for Christmas Is You came in at #2. I did not know that
I
about
believe
that
actually
song.
she does have some ties to Missouri, this woman. Yes, so I will come back to you with the results of those findings, but I'm almost certain that she does have some ties here.
It's absolutely fascinating. Did not know that. Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We will be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great weekend, 4 States.